Imagine my situation. Terraria 1.4 launches at 1 AM your time. Because, you know, Australia. Thanks, Relogic. Nevertheless, my mate Socks4One and I, who, by the way, has zero knowledge of playing Terraria, like basically none, but we decided to stream it anyway as soon as 1.4 launches. Though it gets worse. I wake up at 5 PM and then I am offered to go out with the boys and do some drinking. Or I could be a responsible adult and prepare mentally for the 36 hours I won't be sleeping. I'll let you figure out which option I chose. So, with all these events, this is how my mate Socks4One and I beat Terraria 1.4 in 24 hours. If this video hits 10,000 likes, I'll do Terraria modded for 24 hours. Yeah, but 1.4 just came out, so don't worry, I'll explain where modded is at the end of the video. Now, hour 1 starts off with myself creating a new character. One that would not only embody the spirit of the final update, but also embody my personnel. We called it Journey's Cock and hit the random button like 20 times for the appearance. You also notice the UI has been updated. You've probably seen it like 10,000 times by now, but I just think it looks really cool. Moving on. Created the world and I decided to make it Crimson, because fuck you, it's my show. And then I decided to name it with a name that you should name. Do the name, please. Do the name. I stream every night. Do the name. When spawning in the world, I was just mining trees for half a day because Socks was still trying to figure out how the game works. You also notice how the trees have been completely redesigned and they just look really, really cool. Also, there's a different type of tree. This may be a common theme of this video, me looking at this thing and going like, wow, this looks really cool. Because it does. All right, let me admire it. When Socks spawned into the world, we instantly headed straight for the caves, trying to get as many ores as possible, so I can wrap Socks up in bubble wrap and make sure he's safe the entire time. We also found these new forms of underground trees, which are called gem trees. You can now grow gems, apparently. That's cool. Also, since Socks4One is a family-friendly channel, my chat, well, being my chat, kept calling him Socks for Cocks, because we're really funny. While digging in the underground, we noticed a massive increase of worm spawnage. Worms here, worms there, worms everywhere. Fucking now the screen is a worm. Then I die. We find an underground mushroom biome being completely buffed. Basically, it's bigger, better, and now way easier to catch truffle worms. Thank you, Relogic. We return back to the surface for a bit and find out there's a new endgame sword called the Zenith, crafted from many different swords in the game. This was our goal for the entire 24 hours. We decided to explore the surface a bit more and noticed there was a new wind mechanic that made this tree sway around, and also a balloon slime. It's kind of cute. We found another cave, and right at the entrance, I found a new item, the mace, which these things have been buffed. They now spin around you and you can throw them. They have a massive increase in damage. Heading into the cave, I spotted a trap. Oh, let me just mine that to disarm it. How did I die? What? Bruh. I headed back to the cave again and thanks, Terraria! We continued to go through the cave a bit more, and I found the greatest accessory ever. A floaty. Not even kidding. I genuinely love this item. I had it throughout the entire 24 hours. Hour 2, we headed back to the surface to start construction of our new house. Now, in this update, there's this whole new NPC mechanic with pylons and happiness. We just completely ignored all of that, and we built a cock house. But it kind of has Down syndrome and also sandcastles. So, good job. We actually found out that the mace that we got earlier can be combined with 99 torches to make a flaming mace. It had a slight damage buff and gave the enemies a flame debuff. We then explored around the map and found some normal, ordinary boomerangs lying in a chest. And we also found out that you combine them with fallen stars to make an enchanted boomerang. I also found a stepping stool. I was actually so happy that I found this stepping stool, and I forgot living was a thing. I died. Right before hour 3 came around, I found out about an emote selection. And so Socks4One and I had an epic rock, paper, scissors duel. Fuck. Hour 3 came around with both of us looking for lenses to, you know, actually progress through the game. But because I knew Socks had no knowledge of this game, I decided not to tell him why we were obtaining them. Also, the falling star animation has been updated, and it looks like Goku about to go Super Saiyan. We finally gained enough lenses to summon a few of the things that Socks didn't know about, but we all did. But since nighttime was almost over, we decided to start on a hell-elevator. Should we start making a hell-elevator, chat?
Can we make a helicopter?
Oh, sorry. I mean helicopter. later. We dug down for a bit and then went back to the surface to work a bit more on the cockhouse. And then nighttime occurred. And then somehow, when I was putting down some campfires for regen, Socks thought, hey, that's what the lenses were for, right? This is what the lenses made. This is what I wanted to show you.
Campfires?
Yeah. They also made this.
What's happening? Ah!
After beating the eye, we decided to verse another, which again, pretty straightforward. I do also want to point out the boss bar. Also, owls are a new thing.
Yo-yo versus owl. Who will win? Ha!
Also, owls are no longer a new thing. With a few eyes defeated and Socks still in terminal shock, we decided to head to face the brain of Cthulhu. Along the way to the Crimson, we discovered an oasis. It has nothing to do with the progression. I just found it. I was like, we found one, and it was cool. Moving on. Once we entered the Crimson, we did the classic arena and destroying 2 Crimson Hearts to get the items, which would help us later defeat the brain. But a new change to 1.4 is when destroying the hearts, the meteor spawning in and Goblin Army having a chance to spawn in actually doesn't occur until after you beat the brain. So, the only thing left for us to do is to destroy the brain. We completely destroyed that big boy, and we had to kill him a fair few times because, look, I need to get enough items when I'm babysitting Socks for one. He needs to actually get some decent armor. Hour 4 had us looking at the new NPC, the furry, and the new grappling hook she sold, which was a squirrel hook. What's different about this hook, you ask? You're forcing a squirrel that you captured to pull your entire body weight to your destination, as it is your forever slave to your world. It also grapples onto trees. The whole new inventory, item, and armor upgrade, we head over to the Skeletron's dungeon because why not? Along the way, we also notice a new mechanic, which is lanterns in the background. Basically, every time you kill a new boss, lanterns are in the background. Does it give you a new buff? Does it unlock an item? I don't know. It just looks cool. We basically destroy Skeletron with gun and move into the dungeon. Wait a minute, it ends? That's what you think, you simple-minded fuck. There's actually a new dungeon mechanic where you have crumble blocks. I think that's what they're called. They're only there to be really annoying and make you fall into pit traps full of spikes. Speaking of spikes, they're now an instant break thingy. And speaking of dead, I died. I headed back to the dungeon to explore the rest of it, and they added a new variant of dungeon slime. That's cool. After exploring the dungeon and gaining some more weapons, we found out the furry sells a new type of summoner item, which is a whip. Really not holding back on the whole BDSM furry trait, are you, Relogic? With Socks' new favorite weapon equipped, we headed straight towards the jungle to go and explore that. Socks, though, would thought it'd be really cute to throw a stick of dynamite right next to a beehive to not only kill himself, and also awaken the queen bee! Don't worry, we defeated it, and when I mean we defeated it, I mean I defeated it. Hour 5 kept me exploring through the jungle, battling the dangers that lurked around every single corner, collecting loot and other items that will benefit both of us. With a few items to my name, I decided to head back home. Socks, what the fuck are you doing? So Socks was trying to come back to the jungle, but he ran out of wormhole potions. And since the crafting recipe included a fish, he thought it would be a good idea to go fish for one instead of walking back the entire time. Okay. Whilst looking at Socks' alternate dimension fishing spot, I found out that you can grapple slingshot. I'm not sure if it's a bug or if it's old or new, but it's cool and I could never replicate it, and I'm gonna leave it there. Also, it started to rain slime, so obviously the king slime spawned in. Before I headed back to the jungle, I decided to be a nice teammate and get Socks a bit of meteorite. We also learned that now you can't bomb the meteor and you have to mine it. Every single fucking piece. So I kind of gave up. Also, side note, we have a baby shark pet. No, I won't play the song. Yes, I am versing Queen Bee again. Yes, this is a terrible segue. Oh, look at Goblin Army. I finished the hour by capturing an owl and playing with— No! Hour 6, we decided to finish the Elevator. Whilst I was mining down into hell, Socks was mining a meteor to gain a lightsaber. But Elppa, the damage on the lightsaber is trash. Shh. Let the child play in his sandpit. On the way down to hell, we found another spider's nest. You fucking piece of shit, get out of here. Then about halfway through the hour, we reached hell, then proceeded to be rewarded with a hot dog. We also had like 0 mobility, so I had to carefully make my way through hell. I was trying to get hell— Wait, what is that? Socks! Arriving back home, even though I didn't want to go back, I gave Socks a new weapon that I got from a shadow chest. When I mean new, I mean it's been in the game forever, but now it's extremely buffed. I'm playing this game with a child, chat. While Socks was holding his dick or something, I decided to go search for a Goblin Tinkerer and gain more heart crystals, which I got the max hearts, but no Goblin Tinkerer. I also found this lava minecart that when you ride it through lava, you gain immunity for a short period of time. Hour 7 had us continue looking for the Goblin Tinkerer and gain more Hellstone. Luckily, I didn't have to get much Hellstone because Socks was going to go for the Mage class, and I was going to go melee, and I totally didn't force him to go that class, because I totally wasn't too lazy to make him 2 of every single melee item. Trust me. So, with a full set of Molten Armor and Knight's Edge, Socks wanted to 1v1. Let's just say it didn't work out too well for him. Still wanted a bit more Hellstone though, so I made an Obsidian Skin Potion and got the remaining bars to craft pickaxes, hamaxes, and fat bitch. Also, upon Socks and I battling each other, we discovered that when you have enough gravestones in a certain area, you can create a new sub-biome called a graveyard. This sub-biome will then spawn in zombies and ghosts during any time of day. You can just destroy the gravestones to get rid of them, so that's what we did. I went back to the jungle to get more heart crystals for Socks and hopefully find the Goblin Tinkerer. Along my journey, I found that Socks pulled a magic trick. I fucking lost my flame lash somehow, and I'm a dumbass.
Where did my magic staff go?
What magic stuff?
My amazing red staff.
I still have no clue to this day how he lost it, but this wasn't the only time he did this magic trick. A few more items later down the track pulled a dad on Socks. How? We enter the jungle and finally find the Goblin Tinkerer. Also some more hearts for Socks, but more importantly, the Goblin Tinkerer! We headed back down to hell, all geared up for the fight against the Wall of Flesh, but Socks threw our only voodoo doll into the lava. Also, I'm not sure if this is true or not, it just kind of felt like it, and I'm too lazy to check the wiki, but voodoo demons seem to have a massive decreased chance in spawning. So, while Socks and I built the bridge, we were trying to find voodoo demons, though we had no luck. I thought maybe there was no space for the guy to spawn in our cockhouse, so I decided to expand our house a bit. Hour 8 had me continuing to build the house, and Socks built the bridge down in hell. Once completed, I noticed a goblin army was approaching, but cares? It's not like they won't affect us in the future. Not at all. Totally not foreshadowing for something that may happen. As I went down into hell, we finally found a voodoo demon. So we traveled to the far left. Come on, Socks. What the fuck is that? And then, 20 minutes into the hour, we battled the Wall of Flesh. Hard mode had now been enabled, and that means carrying Socks for one went from carrying a pile of bricks to carrying the Great Wall of China. So we teleported back home to go to the Crimson, and haha, remember how I told you about that goblin army that spawned, and remember how I said it wasn't going to be foreshadowing at all? With the hard mode goblin army defeated somehow, we headed towards the Crimson, and on our way we found another Crimson biome that literally spawned right next to our house. Thank you, Terraria. Though that did not stop us, we started smashing some altars with the Pone Hammer, and Socks found a bride's dress in his inventory. Somehow, we finished off the hour by obtaining the cycle of getting the cobalt, make a pickaxe, get the mithril, make a pickaxe, get 700 fucking pieces of titanium because you're carrying a tub of lard everywhere. Get the pickaxe. Hour 9 had me continuing to get more titanium.
Roxanne, I'm getting all the tritanium.
Oh, sorry, tritanium. This took up most of the hour, but finally, myself and Socks had a full set of the armor. We decided to show off the new set bonus of Beyblades by versing the Wall of Flesh. Hour 10 was pretty big of a progress hour. We headed to the jungle to place the Witch Doctor in a little hut and try and get the leaf wings. The only problem is that they're expensive. Also, it has to be a full moon or a blood moon or something. I don't know. So we had a very little chance of that. Oh, never mind. I managed to pick up a pair of wings, but Socks didn't because it's Socks and I don't think he owns any coins. Throughout the blood moon, we remembered this weird oyster thingy from the trailer. So we decided to try our luck and find one. And apparently if you go fishing in the ocean, one should spawn. Sounds easy enough. What the fuck is that? After the blood moon, we decided to do some soul farming to get the different biome mimics so we can get some better weapons to fight Big Worm. So I thought it would be kind of big brain if I were to summon a bunch of King Slimes in the Underground Crimson and Hallowed, but apparently that doesn't work anymore. So I had to do it the old-fashioned way. I also had to change the UI back to normal because I too like to see how much health I won't be having. With enough souls to craft our first key, our first Crimson Mimic dropped Skull Stick, so Socks got that thingo. The second one we versed got the Fehid Bakads, the Footed Bananas, the long nails. I was trying to get some Souls of Light. Socks managed to lose his pickaxe.
Help!
What?
I'm stuck pick.
That's just mine, bro. All right.
I
You
can't.
don't have a pickaxe. And of course, we finished off the hour by versing Big Worm. Hour 11 had us verse the Destroyer again. Why, you ask? Bars. So with these new bars and Socks dying every 3rd second, I thought, you know what could help him out? You know what could make him survive a little bit longer? Getting myself a new set of hallowed armor. With our souls, we headed to the ocean to gain some shark fins. This took about 20 whole minutes to get 5 of them. I want 5 of them. And with the grind never stopping, we got the mega shark and decided to verse the twins. Socks wasn't too happy about it. Got to verse the boss?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Oh, already? Oh, what the?
The twins were absolutely destroyed, and we decided to get more souls for items. Whilst down getting souls, I have this little gem to share with you. My chat is just telling me to kill you.
They can't. I'm too powerful. Okay. Oh.
Socks just was not doing well, so I decided to get him some wings, because, you know, I'm nice. It's what I do. We also battled the Destroyer again, because I was trying to get more bars for Socks, and what I should have done is battled Skeletron Prime first, because we died to him because of daytime. Hour 12 and we're halfway through. Haha! Pat on the back. I rewarded Socks by giving him a full set of hallowed armor that we managed to salvage together. We also got Socks the Meteor Staff, and he enjoyed it a lot. Finally beat Skeletron, and I got us both pickaxes, just because I'm just that nice of a dude, you know? And we battled the Destroyer once more because, you know, why not? As soon as it turns daytime, a solar eclipse occurs. And you know, I'm happy because Mothron drops broken hero swords. And if I get 2 of them, I get Terrorblade. And since we've beaten all the mechanical bosses, we finally have a chance to get the Terrorblade early on. Oh, he didn't drop one. Don't worry, plenty of time in the event. Oh, another one didn't drop. That's all right. That's all right. We can get one at least, right? Oh, none? No broken hero sword? Not a single one? I did get the Death Sickle though, so I guess that's a win, if you want to call that. My head hanging low, I headed straight to the jungle to grab some Chlorophyte. Chloroform? Chlorax. We got some Chlorax. We also got some live fruits and turtle shells. Socks, on the other hand, was, doing something. No clue what it was, but not helping me, that's for sure. Hour 13 had me continue mining throughout the jungle, getting more Chlorax for Socks and then I teleported back home with enough items to make full turtle armor and, oh... I found out what Socks is doing. Now the cock's a rainbow. That's pretty epic. Do you also want to know what's pretty epic? Another solar eclipse. This time we were lucky enough to actually get the Terrorblade. Ah, finally! When using the blade myself, I found it was a bit slower than normal. Like the blades didn't come out as much, but it doesn't really matter. It still does a lot of damage. So that being said, we headed straight to the jungle to fight Plantera. Socks being Socks bought a harp from the wizard, not knowing why. He didn't know he could turn it into a mage weapon. He played a little tune for us. And then we finally battled Plantera to finish off the hour. In hour 14, we entered the jungle's dungeon and fought Golem. Apparently, he got buffed. I heard it was only expert mode, but normal mode, he felt the same. So, sucks to be him, I guess. Because we absolutely destroyed his ass many a times. We headed back home and I found the kite. The first one. It looks retarded. We also decided to buff Socks up a lot. So, we headed to the dungeon where the cultists were vibing. I told Socks not to kill any of them. Not a single one. Because that would be bad, but did he listen? Yes, he did listen, actually. We headed into the dungeon to get ectoplasm to make some Spectre armor for Socks. He was only still full hallowed, whilst I had full beetle armor. My mans need some buffs. We also got a new item called the Morning Star, which is a fair amount of damage, apparently. Hour 15 continued with us farming in the dungeon. After a solid effort, we got some new weapons and armor for Socks. So he's nice and ready for the endgame activities. And when I mean endgame activities, I mean we're gonna go fight this new boss, the Queen Slime. It's recommended by the wiki before the Destroyer, I'm pretty sure, so it doesn't matter, we destroyed it anyway. We also tried to find the other new boss, but it's really hard to spawn. You have to find a rainbow butterfly that only spawns in the hallowed biome, and it's really rare, and we didn't get it. So we kind of gave up and went to the underground mushroom biome to catch some truffle worms, which leads us into hour 16, where we battled Duke Fishron. Socks died a few times, but I managed to defeat the beast by also dying as well at the same time. I guess we kind of traded deaths on that one. I headed back to collect the loot, and we got a tempered staff, and what's this? Fishron wings? We also found an alien probe that flew off into the distance, while Socks summoned another Fishron. Good one, Socks. But we managed to kill him again, and I managed to pick up the Flare-on. So it's a blessing in disguise. We headed back to the house to fight the Martian Madness, which was fine. We also got a few new items for Socks to battle with, and then we headed over to the Hallowed once again to try and battle this new boss. And guess what? We finally found the little shit. So according to the Wikipedia page, this boss is recommended after Golem. We just killed Duke Fishron, so we'll easily defeat it. Never mind. 70,000 health? Are you on fucking drugs? This bitch is like an Undertale boss, fucks the Calamity Death Mode boss, and tried to have a miscarriage. Honestly, it's actually a really cool boss, and I love it, and the music's really nice, and really proud of you, Relogic. But holy fuck, this bitch is so hard. So we're not battling this thing again. We actually headed back to the ocean to verse Duke Fishron a few more times to get Socks a new weapon to use, and we got it. Our 17 was us prepping for big puppy Moonlord Daddy. So life fruits, more accessory, reforging, etc. We actually tried fighting the Empress again, but luckily it didn't spawn, otherwise we'd have our asses handed to us. So we decided to trigger the endgame event. We absolutely whooped the Lunar cultists' ass and summoned the 4 pillars: Solar, Nebula, Stardust, and the other one. We headed to Solar first because, you know, I want a new weapon, but also to get the hardest one out of the way. We then headed to the Nebula next to get Socks a new weapon, and we left the other 2 for a bit. I headed back to the jungle to get full HP for life roots. Then hour 18 rolled around. We destroyed the last remaining pillars, and then the final battle of Terraria, the Moonlord, began. After 18 whole hours, we defeated the final boss of Terraria, completing 1.4. Yet we were still not done. We still had a few bosses and events to take care of, and we had some other little things to take care of. But jump back to the present, where we killed the Moonlord. He did this cute little thing where he dropped a range weapon, you know, the one class that we're not using at all. So at least it was the new item, but come on. Really? So we battled the Moonlord a few more times, gaining full Nebula armor for Socks, Solar armor for myself. We also battled the Empress of Light again, absolutely destroyed her ass. Socks finally figured out how to play the game. And then I remembered the Zenith, the one item I sought out to get. Now, this wouldn't take too long. Maybe we get the whole pylon system. Maybe we even get to play Master Mode. I was fucking wrong, because for whatever reason, we could not get the Moonlord to drop the sword Meow Meow. We literally had every other sword except the Meow Meow. We spent 6 whole hours to trying to get the Meow Meow drop, and it never did. 6 fucking hours. So at the 24-hour mark, we tried beating the Moonlord one last time. Maybe it would drop it. It didn't. We failed. We ended our streams, and we went to bed, tears in our eyes and heads hung low. We beat Terraria 1.4 in 24 hours, but at what cost? But no, it did not end there. A few days later, I came across a very shady man who said he had what we were looking for. Nothing to see here. So finally, after all this time, we got Zenith, and holy shit is this thing strong. We decided to test out his power. We battled the Moonlord one last time. This motherfucker destroyed it. It completely destroyed the health of the Moonlord. You motherfucker! What? If you did like the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're new. Now, the thing you've all been waiting for. Where is modded 24 hours? I've actually had it recorded, scripted, written, kind of edited for about 5 months. To be honest, it's shit. It's garbage. I had zero clue what any of the mods did at the time when I was recording. I legitimately rage quit in about 16 hours in, so it didn't even do the full 24 hours. It didn't end well. I'm offering you guys a compromise. Socks gave me a suggestion where he wants to do Terraria 24 hours with every mod we possibly can, which will be hell. The alternate suggestion is we do 24-hour modded by myself with Calamity and Thorium, which were the mods I originally were doing. Don't worry, I've actually learned about the mods. I've been playing it on my stream. Past the Moonlord, we're up to like Devourer of Gods or something. We know a fair bit about it, which, by the way, again, you can all follow. I stream basically every day. So anyway, that's it. That's how we beat Terraria 1.4 in 24 hours. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Tally ho.